going on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be ranking my top 10 favorite movies of all time. This is kind of trending on TikTok right now. So this video, if it seems a little weird, it's because I'm actually making two versions of this video. I'm making the YouTube version, obviously, for my movie account, and I'm also making a TikTok version. If you don't follow me on TikTok, probably leave it that way. I don't make a lot of movie content on there. But that being said, we're going to be talking about my top 10 favorite movies of all time. This is not like the 10 greatest movies of all time. This is not like 10 movies that will change your life. These are just 10 movies that have very sentimental meanings to me. And they're 10 movies that I could probably watch over and over and over again. And honestly, if I wasn't making this purposely condensed so that I could also post it on TikTok, I'd probably be able to talk about each of these individual movies for at least 10 minutes straight. So if you guys ever want that, obviously we could do like a full-length version of this. However, I'm going to try to keep it relatively brief, and I'm going to go ahead and start off by giving out some honorable mentions. Alrighty, so we're going to start off with 3 honorable mentions. 2 of these movies are just kind of comfort movies, and one of them is a movie that genuinely changed my outlook on life. So the first one is a comfort movie, the movie National Treasure. Growing up, this was my Indiana Jones. I thought this was the coolest action-adventure movie ever, and I thought Nicolas Cage was that guy. So if anybody ever recommends, hey, let's watch National Treasure, I am seated. We're going to watch it. That's awesome. Number 2, I grew up a very Disney person. Like, my family is a very Disney household, so I have a favorite Disney princess movie, and it is Tangled, and that is the best one. Period. End of discussion. The Princess and the Frog's a close second. But my one movie on my honorable mentions that kind of like changed my outlook on life, the movie Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, absolutely incredible movie. I think that it is perfectly rated. I think some people are like, oh my god, it's overrated. It's not. It's absolutely incredible. It's a perfect movie. The animation style is fantastic, obviously. But the reason I say this movie changed my life is I watched this when I was about 16 years old, and I was getting to that point in my life where I was just like, silly little cartoons, these are for kids. And then I remember leaving it and being like, oh my god, animated movies have so much nuance and layering, and it's so beautiful and powerful. So it completely changed my perspective on animated movies, and you'll see there's a lot of animated movies on this list. A big part of that is because of this movie. So that being said, let's dive into my top 10 favorite movies. In 10th place, we have the movie Good Will Hunting. I'm going to go ahead and say this. This is 100% just because I am a diehard fan of the man, the myth, the legend, Robin Williams. I think that any movie Robin Williams has ever touched has been incredible, and I think this is arguably one of his best performances. And overall, I think that this movie is a classic. Like, I feel like this is a movie that you would not necessarily be able to make today, and it still feel as good and as powerful. I think that some of the lessons throughout this film are great, and there's just a lot of really emotional sequences and a lot of really good laughs. Coming in 9th place, I have recently gotten into horror movies, so I'm sure there'd be more on my list if it wasn't for the fact that I've been a chicken shit my whole life. But we got the movie Scream. This movie is so good, or maybe I'm an idiot, that the main thing everybody knows about Scream is that there's usually multiple killers. There's multiple Ghostface in a lot of these films, so that's usually like a twist, and it's something that's fun to try to guess who the other one is going to be or whatever. I knew that going into the movie, that there are multiple Ghostfaces. It still shocked me when they revealed that there were multiple Ghostfaces. I think that this movie has a lot of really good comedy that holds up relatively well. Some of the slasher sequences still hold up relatively well. I think that the horror elements of this film are still very fun, but it's to a point where these movies kind of have a lot of dark comedy in it. So even though it is scary, they balance that tone with the horror and the comedy really well. And I just really like slashers, and I think it is because of this movie. Coming in 8th place, this is probably the movie I've watched the most in my lifetime. We have Captain America Civil War. I'm a diehard superhero fan, so there's obviously going to be some superhero movies on the list. This movie, in my opinion, gets like the most correct version of each of the characters. I think that this version of Steve Rogers is the most correct version of Steve Rogers. I think that this version of Tony Stark is the best version of Tony Stark, and that can go for literally every single character. They introduced Black Panther in here, and he's incredible. They introduced Spider-Man in here, and it's the most Spider-Man that Tom Holland Spider-Man has ever felt like Spider-Man. The airport battle is insanely iconic. I love it to death, and there's just a lot of sequences like that are just awesome. Coming in 7th place, this might be one of the more niche ones on my list. I have the movie Nimona. If you have not seen it, I would recommend watching it completely blind. It's a Netflix original movie because they bought the animation studio that was making it, and it is absolutely breathtaking. I think that the animation style is kind of like this fun 2D, really feels like a storybook kind, and I really love that. I think that there's a really interesting gay love story. It's modern, but also in like medieval times. It is one of the most unique like period pieces I've ever seen. It's so fantastical, and the main character Nimona has some sequences in this movie that will literally have you sobbing, but also the main characters are also absolutely hilarious together because it's kind of like the Black Cat and like super hyper friend dynamic. You get a lot of that in this movie, and it is very entertaining. Also, a lot of cool twists and turns. A lot of really cool twists and turns. For reference, Nimona is a shapeshifter. That is pretty cool. There's a lot of fun stuff that they do with that. In 6th place, the movie that I probably resonated with the main character the most in the history of movies ever. We have the movie Snack Shack. This one came out last year. I watched it because, oh my god, this is going to be a fun little comedy. It's rated R. This should be really funny. I sobbed. I cried. The main character is a socially awkward little teenage boy, and he has a friend that's a lot more outgoing than him, is low-key hotter than him, and is like, out here getting the girl that he has a crush on, and is, doing all these different things. And like, he's just trying to like get by, right? He's very like insecure. He has a lot of these different issues, and he has a lot of like, these two teenage boys have a lot of turmoil, and like the way that they deal with these problems is very, boys will be boys moments. And I think that there's a lot of great comedy throughout this movie. I think that there's a lot of like great hardship, and like the way that these two learn a lot about like brotherhood and kind of like become best friends again after having a really bad falling out is just so fun. I think that this movie manages to have a lot of heart and a lot of ridiculous comedy, and it works. Coming in 5th place, probably one of my favorite action movies of all time, we have the movie Bullet Train. This movie is absolutely iconic. I think that it is one of the best ensemble casts of all time, and the aspect that there's so many characters in this movie, but they all feel 100% necessary. They all connect in ways that are very interesting, and I like the fact that this movie really trusts the audience to kind of have a general idea of everything that's going on, because we're all on this one location the entire film, Bullet Train, and every once in a while they will kind of like switch back to like this flashback situation to kind of fill in some of the gaps, but for the most part, you're just like thrown into this film, and I really like that. And I think that the action is all insanely incredible. I think that the gore is fantastic. Lemon and Tangerine are absolutely hilarious, and overall this movie is just a really good time. In 4th place, we have the movie Ratatouille. I absolutely love Ratatouille. I think that this is probably one of the most influential movies in my entire life. I grew up loving cooking and being obsessed with it, and it took a really long time for me to realize a big part of it was because of Ratatouille. The sequence where he has like the strawberry and the cheese, and then he zaps them together, and then he smells it, and then there's just like that like little fireworks everywhere. Oh my god, that scene is incredible, and I just love the overall message that like anybody can cook, and you shouldn't be deterred from doing something that you're passionate about. I think that Remy is one of the most like interesting protagonists in any of the Pixar movies, because literally everybody is just like, hey, don't do this. Hey, the thing that you really love doing, it's gonna get you killed. This is a really bad idea. You shouldn't be doing this. You should just be going with the flow. And he's like, no, I want to cook. That's what I'm gonna do. And he does it, and he's successful with it, and it's absolutely fantastic. I think that Ratatouille is also, this might be a hot take, the funniest Pixar movie. Coming in 3rd place, this is my highest Marvel movie. We got Guardians of the Galaxy. I think that the music is fantastic. The found family vibes in this movie is absolutely incredible. I love everything that they do with Rocket and Groot. Groot's death sequence, it's still able to make me cry. All of the jokes still land relatively well. And for the most part, I just think that this movie is one of the best versions of we need to quickly put together a team that they have ever done in a superhero movie. And I think that it is an insane amount of fun. I think from start to finish, this film is awesome. And James Gunn is an insanely talented director, and I'm so glad he's giving us a faithful adaptation of Superman, and that he is the guy for DC, because I think the next couple of years of DC are going to be incredible because of James Gunn. In 2nd place, notice I didn't say the best superhero movie on this list. I have The Incredibles. I absolutely love The Incredibles, and honestly, if you gave me the time, I could probably give you an hour-long video essay telling you about all of the incredible things about The Incredibles. For one, the fact that Syndrome does all the things that he does. Hey, I don't know if you know this. Syndrome, the greatest villain of all time. Period. End of discussion. I don't even want to hear it. He completely massacres superheroes. This man did a genocide in a kid's movie, and they don't even like try to hide it. Like, it's like a very like clear as day thing. There's a sequence where a man tries to kill himself and a superhero saves him, and then they have to deal with like the legal altercations of that. Hey, that's insane. Hey, that's incredible. Oh, every single one of the heroes, their powers have to do with their family dynamic, because, the dad is supposed to be the man of the house. He's supposed to be the strongest, so he has super strength. The mom is expected to be flexible because, they have to work a job, and they have to take care of the kids, and they have to clean and do all the cooking, and she's flexible, so she has stretchy powers. That's cool. Violet, a teenage girl, so she has invisibility because she feels invisible. Dash, a little teeny bopper little boy, has way too much energy, so he is super speed. Are you kidding me? That entire movie is like one of the most well thought out movies of all time, and I loved hearing about how like it was originally supposed to be 2D animation, and oh god, I know way too much about this movie. I love it. It's incredible. Incredibles, incredible. See what I did there? Do you see what I did? Anyways, and in 1st place, because I am a rom-com girly at heart, we have 10 Things I Hate About You. I think it is the best rom-com of all time. I think that Heath Ledger is one of the greatest actors of all time, R.I.P. And I absolutely love this movie. One, I think it's an incredible comfort movie, and two, there are multiple love stories throughout this movie, so you get all of the different tropes. You get kind of like the friends to lover trope with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and the sister, I think Bianca, and then you get the stuff with Kat and I can't remember Heath Ledger's character's name right now. Oh, I'm a fake fan. Whoopsie daisies. But you get the enemies to lover trope with them, and there's just so much great comedy in this movie. Once again, there's a lot of sequences in here that I feel like wouldn't necessarily work today. And the I love you, baby scene, oh, it gets me every time. God, I love this movie. It's so good. It's so good. But yeah, those are my top 10 favorite films. Thank you for watching. Okay, like I said, that was just a kind of a condensed version, so I'm going to do my proper outro here. Thank you guys so much for coming by and checking it out. I love and appreciate you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. But that being said, feel free to let me know your guys' favorite movies down below, and if there's any movies that based off of my top 10, you're like, oh my god, you have to see this movie. If you haven't seen this movie yet, I think you would also love this, because I love film recommendations. I have seen over 1,000 different movies, but I'm always looking for something new, something niche, something weird, and I'm tired of having to just go through IMDb's top 100 films of all time. If you have a movie that connects personally to you, please let me know and give me a recommendation. But that being said, I'm going to sign out now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out. Pow, pow, pow.